with product design and thinking about all these different sorts of tools, if you weren't pretty fundamentally aware of how it is that women are going to be operating these services. So I think the perspective is there, but to be very transparent, it's not yet very formal. It's not something that, we haven't had the same kind of convening that agriculture has had. We haven't sort of structured it in the language, and I think that again is something that will evolve as we kind of move forward. And I certainly invite you to send in your note. Maybe you can give us some language around it.
David Apgar from Blue Orchard. Thank you very much for your talk. The emphasis on impact on clients came through very clear. But I'm wondering, to what extent does the foundation have the deployment of technology as a sort of secondary objective? For example, if it turned out in the course of your research that you found that non-technology solutions, programs, for example, to open up more of these markets to enhanced competition among microfinance institutions, which might make individual institutions more risky but would be better for clients, that proved to look more effective than technological solutions to reducing transaction costs. Would you pursue it? And for example, if you found that ways of structuring and enabling lenders to get borrowers to rate themselves were more effective than ever better credit scoring models and credit bureaus, would you be just as likely to put money in that kind of non-technology solution?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I don't know if some of you are aware of the RFP we put out on savings-led groups. That's couldn't be less technological, and that's all about the community organized groups that are sort of a step up from Araska, that are perhaps one of the most interesting ways to kind of provide flexible services to the poorest, people who really have certain kinds of characteristics. So, yeah, we're not taking a technology lens and applying it to everything. The Gateses themselves got into this convinced that their own technological bent had something to bear in general on world's problems, science, not just technology, but sort of science, that sort of focus. And that's how they got into it. But I've not yet been told in any way, shape, or form that I have to be about, a technology agenda. I think there's some tremendous excitement there. It may even be that the savings-led groups end up with some sort of, cell phone in the group that connects and does something. I don't know. But that's not the point. I mean, the point is, how do you have the greatest impact on people's lives, period, end of story. So, and how can you describe it in a way that's somewhat more rigorous? So, yeah, we're open to high-impact stuff. Thanks.
Hi, Bob. David Brewer of End Poverty Foundation and the SEEP Network. I'm one of the choir that you can preach to about lowering transaction costs. I think that's the driver of lots of benefit. I wonder how high on your radar screen privacy and government, what's the right word for it, coercion potential is for the logical extension of having everybody in the world electronically monitorable, whether